Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be part of my Montessori at home series. So I'm going to be showing you my daily routine and how we Montessori at home with my son. So if you haven't been here before, then my name is Abigail and I make videos based around intentional Christian parenting, and I have this Montessori at home series on my channel. I have a 1-year-old son who is called Samuel, and I am a stay-at-home mum, and we practice a lot of the Montessori at home principles. So I thought I would take you along with me on my day-to-day and show you how we put these principles into practice in our daily kind of normal lives. So if you enjoy this video, then head on down there and hit the subscribe button, and also turn on the bell notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. And without further ado, let's crack on into it. So as you just saw, I like to do a reading and playtime with Samuel just after he wakes up, maybe just 5 or 10 minutes, and that's just so that we can both kind of ground ourselves emotionally, and that because Samuel, when he wakes up, like most children, is quite clingy, and I think he just needs a little bit of cuddle and a little bit of time with me. So I do that with him just after I wake up, after he wakes up, and I think it really helps just to ground him emotionally. I really like the phrase fill your emotional bucket at the start of the day. I read that somewhere and I really like that idea, because essentially it's the idea of like making sure that your emotional bucket is filled with the connections that you need. So with Samuel, with me, having his cuddles, and then also with like me, I do my Bible study, and that kind of helps to ground me emotionally as well. So that's quite that's the kind of thing that I tend to do in the morning with him, and that just, as the phrase says, fills our emotional bucket. It's usually quite a short time as well, just so that we can crack on with the day, because our mornings seem to be quite busy usually. Yes. So this is what Samuel is having for breakfast this morning. He's having salmon risotto with a little bit of carrot in it, and he is having some eggs and some cheese as well. So basically what we do is we kind of reverse Samuel's dinners and breakfasts, simply because he eats much more and much better in the morning. So I try and give him things that he's less familiar with, because he's much more likely to be more adventurous in the morning. So I try and give him like a savoury, more dinner like meal. Typically I put more vegetables in it. This morning we don't have that many fresh vegetables, so I've just done the risotto with that carrot. And then I also give him just an open cup of water. I guess the other thing that I wanted to say regarding meal times is just that if I've got time, I let Samuel make mess, because that's kind of his sensory exploration. It's part of his play at this stage. So I let him kind of make a mess with it. As you can see, it'll probably go, most of it will go over the floor. And I also don't force him to eat anything he doesn't want to eat. I think that's quite important. But I do try and get him to try it, because often if he tries a bit, then he does like it. So that's just kind of how our meal times go. He eats most of it himself. I kind of help him if he's struggling with any of the bits. And yeah, he just has a good old time at breakfast time. So at the moment Samuel is playing independently, and I'm just trying to get in some dishes done. Basically Samuel is really great at independent play. He's just fantastic at it. He plays by himself for quite long periods of time, and he gets quite engrossed, so that's good. So I can get other stuff done. So I'm doing the dishes now, and then we're going to get ready to go out to Book Bugs, which is a library in my local library. It's basically like a sing-along session. Let's be real, Samuel's not going to sit and sing along, but he goes along and interacts with the other kids, and he really enjoys it. So we go and do that and have like a library morning and make a little thing out of it. What we try and do is Sunday to Thursday we have something that we go to at around about 10 o'clock, and that's the time of day when Samuel is most active, when he's most wanting to do something, he's most prepared kind of to go out and get stuff done. So we go and do like a toddler group or a library group, or we go to church. We do all those things at that time of day, and he really loves it. So that's what we're going to go and get ready to go to now. Close the door. Close the door. So I just thought I'd quickly show you a couple of Montessori activities that we do. So essentially this is one of them, and it is just these go on the pegs essentially. I've put the ones out that I think are the easiest to do. Probably the triangles quite easy as well. So I basically put them out like this, and then I either show Samuel, or if he knows how to do it then he just cracks on with it. But if I show him, I go like this. Or I go, look, and then I'm silent, and then I show him, so that he isn't distracted by my voice and me speaking during the activity, during me showing him the activity, and then I just let him crack on. So as you can see, this one's a bit more difficult for him, so yeah, it's just putting an easy one that he can do and then a more difficult one so that he can do that. I also don't correct him if he puts it, for example, he's put it on there. I don't say, oh no, that's wrong. I just leave him to it, and I just continue to show him that it goes there. But I don't say it's wrong, because it's not really wrong. It does kind of fit, doesn't it? So try here. So we do a bit of like assisted play if it's a difficult activity like this, and a lot of the things he does he can do independently by himself. So another one that needs to be assisted is his puzzle. So these are his peg puzzles. This is probably a little bit too difficult for him at the moment, but this is the one that we've got, the easiest one we've got. So he can usually do the circle by himself, and then he needs assistance with the rest of them. Oh, you want to see in the viewfinder? Do you want to do the circle? Circle? And then he tips it back. So basically, yeah, this is how the activities quite often go with a 1-year-old. If you've got one, you'll know. We just need to say, be gentle. And actually that brings me on to something I wanted to talk about, which is about, I was going to make a video about this, but I don't think I've got enough information for like a full video. But I wanted to talk about how to stop your toddler from misbehaving or doing things that you think are inappropriate, that you don't want them to do. And I think the first thing to realise is that the children generally do not, at 1 year old, they're not really misbehaving on purpose. They're not doing something bad, they're just investigating. They're trying to find out about the world. So what I do is I tend, if he's throwing something, for example he threw that board just there, I will give him a ball and say, yes, you can throw that. And it kind of redirects the behaviour into something that's a bit more acceptable that you want in your house. So I'll let him throw like a really soft ball. Or if he is hitting, I'll give him his little toy hammer and tell him to hit with that onto his little nails that he's got. Another example will be if he wants to climb, we'll go out to the park, or I do let him climb on the sofas but not on the tables. So I kind of just limit it in that way. And then biting, again, if he wants to bite, I'll give him something to eat, or I'll give him his teether if he's got sore teeth. And that's just kind of redirecting the behaviour so that it's a bit more of an acceptable behaviour. Not that his behaviour is not wrong, he's not doing anything bad, he's just being a baby, just being a 1 year old. He doesn't know how to be bad yet really. So it's just about redirecting the behaviour into something that's a bit more acceptable, something that you would want. So at the moment he is just going to play independently for a while. Usually he naps about this time, but he did get up a little bit later this morning. So he's gonna just play. I'm probably gonna make myself some lunch. It's just gonna be a little bit of a chill time at the moment. So this is where Samuel has his snack. This table and chair set, I'll show you a bit better. These are from IKEA and they're very basic table and chairs. Basically what we did was we bought the table and chairs and then we put this kind of, you can see there's a kind of tablecloth, plastic clear tablecloth, and we just stapled it on. And then, because I want Samuel to be able to do colouring and eat in this table as well, so I want it to be like a really nice white clean surface and not to get all stuck in these little crack bits here. So that's what we did, and it's working really, really well so far. When it eventually gets wrecked, we can just rip it off and then put a new one on. So this will make it last a lot longer. Samuel's legs don't quite reach the floor. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, his legs don't quite reach the floor of this, so you could maybe shorten it if you wanted to. I've just left it for the moment. This table and chairs, he absolutely loves this. I have a toy here when he's not eating, and then he comes and sits here and plays for a while, and he really just loves to eat a snack, play games here, etc. And this is a really cute little table that you got. So I'll link this table below if you want to buy it. It was £25 I believe, and it's from IKEA. So yeah, that worked really well. And then of course Montessori is a lot about observation of the child. So I watch Samuel for quite a while in the day and just watch him sometimes when he plays by himself and see kind of what he naturally goes to. And at the moment his natural interest is dogs. So he's got this little magnet dog that he loves. I'll show you. He's got this little kind of magnet from the Melissa and Doug magnet set. So he plays with this. We've also got a little dog from our little car set. And then I try and follow this up by getting him books about dogs out of our cupboard or from the library, and that kind of he's learning about dogs at the moment, so that's kind of stimulates his interest. And then when we go out on walks, we talk about dogs and I make the noise, and it's just kind of, you're observing them and then you're following it up with the relevant toys or activities. That's one part of my day that I do a little tiny bit every day and just see what he's interested in For example, if he's interested in putting himself into small spaces or like covering himself up, then I will give him things that he can do that with. So I'll give him cloths, or I'll give him a little box to hide in, and that's part of the containment schema. If he's into the transporting schema, he will be like moving things from place to place. I'll give him lots of small parts to do that with. If he's in the trajectory schema, so he's into like lots of movement, which Samuel is at the moment, he loves to climb on things, then I'll do a lot of going to the soft play, going to the park, going out and about and giving him opportunities to climb. So that's a big part of Montessori, is observing your child and then responding to it, and that's how they kind of learn best. So yes, so that's what I'm doing at the moment, just observing him a little bit. And at the moment he's playing here with the Grimm's rainbow that we have and just kind of having a little fun with that. So that's me just got Samuel down for his nap now, and it is 2:20, so that's really late for his nap. Usually I try and get him down for his nap about 12. Today he just wasn't having it. I don't know if he feels a bit sick or something, or a bit unwell, but he wasn't having it today, so he's gone down for his nap finally. And usually we go out for a walk in the afternoon, try and get outside, because outside time is really, really important to me, and I try and get outside as much as possible. But it's really, really difficult in the winter. We don't have a garden, we live in a flat, so it's really difficult because you have to plan going out, and the weather in Scotland is awful. So it's like raining, dirt wet, and it's okay if you've got enough time, but then it gets dark at 4 o'clock. So it's not going to happen today, unfortunately. He's going to have his nap, and I'm probably going to be unproductive and just have like a bit of chill time just now. Have a little snack and kind of sit down, and then yes, I'll show you what we do after Samuel wakes up. Hopefully he'll sleep for a good hour or so. It varies a lot how much he sleeps, so it just really depends on his mood on that day. Just to talk about sleeping, I still breastfeed Samuel to sleep every nap and bedtime, so that's how he falls asleep still. So I haven't like weaned him off breastfeeding or anything yet. I'm hoping to do that within the next 6 months or so, before he's 2. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that. So I can't share you any like tips of how to put your baby down to sleep Montessori style, because I just breastfeed him to sleep, and it's I do it because I personally feel better about it. It's a gentle way of putting him to sleep. He absolutely loves it, and I love cuddling him before bed. So I really think it's like a very gentle way to put him to sleep, and he's done that ever since he was a tiny newborn. So I'm gonna have to think of a way to stop breastfeeding him that's gentle as well, because I just can't do the whole leaving him to cry for hours kind of thing. That just doesn't work for me. And if you guys know Montessori, it's not a Montessori thing to do that either. So if I do wean him off breastfeeding, then I'll be sure to kind of let you guys know how I do that, and if it's a good method that I find. So yes, I'm going to go and have a snack now. I'm also going to do my devotional for the day, because I didn't get a chance to do it this morning. And my favourite devotional, and my most recommended for anyone ever, is this one. It's called My Utmost for His Highest, and it is by Oswald Chambers, and this is an updated edition. So this is quite an old book originally, but they've updated it into like modern English, and my goodness, this is good. It's basically like a one-day little thing to read. I tend to just take that bit and read the whole passage, and then that's like the bit to focus on, and then a bit of just your usual kind of blurb, and then basically it's got the dates if you want to follow the dates along. But my goodness, this is so good. What I like about this specifically is that it's quite deep. So a lot of daily devotionals you'll get are not very deep. They're quite like fluffy and light, and you just need something a bit more deep sometimes. Sometimes a bit lighter is what you need, but sometimes a bit more deep is what you need. And then I'm really massively against highlighting books, but this one is one that I highlighted and written on quite a bit, because I just adore it. I just adore it so much. So if you're looking for a good daily devotional and you've not read this one, then I would highly recommend it. It's my favourite, and it has been for quite a few years now. to run Samuel's bath. He's basically just had a little bit of porridge for dinner. Like I said, I reverse his breakfast and his dinner usually. He's a little bit of that, he's not super hungry. And then he's going to go in his bath now, so I got an itchy eye. Now he's going to go in his bath probably. I do, on a Tuesday I do a Bible course. I normally go to it, but I'm not going to go to it tonight because I feel quite tired and not like that well. So I'm going to watch it online instead. And hopefully Philip can look after the baby while I do that. And then he just goes to bed after that. So it's nothing like super exciting in the evenings. Just he reads a book, has his bath, goes to bed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was interesting to you. It's probably really boring. It seemed kind of boring what I filmed today. But I hope it's kind of interesting to you. And I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.